Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to our vlog. My name is Ricky, and today I'm going to be showing you the easy and quick way to clean your engine bay. As you guys can see here, I have a Miata that's being cut up in pieces. This is one of my personal projects and I'm gonna be doing a Miata car out of it. At the moment, the engine bay is looking really disgusting. So this is pretty much what it's looking like before I start cleaning it, and I'm gonna show you a very, very easy and quick way to have this done in no time. Some of the stuff we're gonna be using today is our degreaser, which is our Power Cleaner Plus by Meguiar's. Which this is the exact same thing as this big bottle. This is like the commercial one that you can buy and just put in your own spray bottle. We're also gonna be using the hyper dressing. Of course, we need to use our rubber gloves to protect us from the chemicals, our safety glasses, and I have a set of coveralls here because I tend to get myself very, very wet when I clean engine bays, and just a few brushes so we can get this thing done. Now, when it comes to cleaning your engine bay, you have to be careful with certain parts of the engine bay. For example, the battery in my case is not here. When it comes to the Mazda Miatas, they all came relocated in the back of the car from manufacturer, so we'll get to that in a second. The second thing I'm gonna be using is I'm gonna be using a degreaser. In my case, I'm gonna be removing this aluminum intake by K&N that my car has here. So I don't wanna get this area full of degreaser because it'll probably discolor the aluminum on it. And by the way, while I have it taken out of the car, I'm probably gonna polish it and make it look a lot better. Another thing that I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be cleaning the air filter, because why clean the engine bay and have the air filter dirty? So we'll be cleaning that soon. You have to be really careful with this type of electronics, like the spark plug coils and the spark plug wires, because you don't wanna get water into the spark plug socket area, because then it's gonna cause a misfire, but we'll get to that when we get there. At the same time, in this case, because I cut up most of my Miata completely off, I have a bunch of wiring that I have marked, like this is high beams and the horn wire, and I don't want none of that to get wet. That's where the plastic cover comes into place. I'm gonna be wrapping all this in with plastic and taping it, and if you have something similar, it doesn't necessarily need to be this, you might wanna cover it up with plastic. You don't wanna get too much water wet. My alternator's down there, so I'm not really gonna worry too much about it because it's gonna be really hard to just get water in there as well. But some people really do not like to get their alternator wet. In my case, I clean every single one of my engine bays, and I have multiple cars, and I do not worry about the alternator, and it has worked fine. I've never had an alternator go bad, but I've heard of people that alternators has gone bad after they clean their engine bay. Other than that, you wanna look for the ECU of the car. And by me looking at this, I already don't see it here. I see a fuse box, and then I see a few sensors here, which will be covering that to a certain extent, but no ECU, which means my ECU is inside the car, so good, I don't have to worry about that. Number two, the battery. We will be removing the negative, and I already had it loose for you guys, and the positive. We are going to completely isolate the battery. That way, in case there is some type of short, or could have been a short, there's no power going to it, and we don't damage any electronics. After that, I think we are ready to go, guys. Isolated the power. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be removing this intake. I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna push the car back, and we're gonna get to work. Now, as you guys see here now, the throttle body is completely exposed, and the last thing you want to do is get water in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stuff a rag in there, right, without pushing it all the way in. I'm going to put a piece of wrapper around it, and I'm going to tape it in. Piece of rag, rubber glove, and the same hose clamp that I took out of here, I'm going to place right back in here. This is going to keep my throttle body safe and completely sealed from the water. Alright guys, so next thing I'm going to be replacing, I'm going to be taking my strut bar out, just because I don't really need it right now there. I can always clean this on the side and then put it back in place after, and it'll give me a better area for me to clean my engine bay. Alright, so now we have the car in the driveway. And like I said before, we're gonna be using the citrus power cleaner by Meguiar's. So I'm gonna grab my bottle now and I'm just gonna start spraying. After I get done doing this and spraying it with water, which in my case, I'm gonna be using my pressure washer, which is only a 1900 PSI, it's not too powerful. You don't have to, you can just use a regular hose. But for now, in my case, I always do it with this and it comes back flawlessly. So I'm gonna spray this, I'm gonna let it sit there for a couple of minutes and I'm gonna spray it again. And then I'm gonna start scrubbing it with my brushes. Alright, so at this point of the cleaning process, there's two things you can do. You can either let it air dry outside, which I don't wait. I got two air compressors. I have a small one, a tiny one, then I have a big one. I'm gonna use my small one because it's super portable. I can just bring it right in front of the car and I can just air blow it. And I can adjust the PSI in the air also. So I'm probably gonna put it to 80 PSI. And then especially all the plugs, all the connectors, I'm gonna get real in there. And I'm gonna start making sure there's no water inside the plugs or harnesses or anything that has a wire. I'm gonna make sure it's completely dry. As you guys can see, I just finished air blowing all the connector, all the plugs. So pretty much everything that looked like this, I just air blew, make sure there was nothing, no wire inside of them. This entire area, I even took this apart and I blew inside of it. I mean, these things are pretty much water sealed, they're airtight. They have a rubber seal around it just to prevent water from going in there. But it's always good to make sure that everything is dry. So everything that has a wire is being air blown and it's being air dried. I'm actually gonna grab the intake that I took off of the Miata and I'm gonna finish cleaning it, especially the air filter, which it looks pretty freaking disgusting. And then I'm just gonna wipe down the strut tower with the engine degreaser that I use for the engine. Alright guys, so I just finished pushing the car inside the garage. I don't want it in the sun when I'm doing this part of the process. So right now I finished cleaning the intake, the K&N intake. I bolted it down, I cleaned all the clamps, I cleaned anything in between, and I even put a new, I recharged the filter with our air filter oil after I cleaned it up. So I actually ended up cleaning that with our citrus power cleaner, and then I rinsed it, and then after I did that, I freaking sprayed it with this. Which is the oil base for the filter. What it does is it traps all the dirt. It keeps it in the filter without going through it. So we know that one's brand new and it was actually disgusting. Next thing is I'm gonna clean the windshield because it's pretty disgusting. So I'm gonna end up just wiping this all down with our ceramic detailer. And then after I do that, we're gonna get back to the engine. Hyper dressing right from Meguiar's. This is pretty much like a dressing that you would use on your interior panels, and I'm gonna use this for everything that's rubber in the vehicle. I mean, after putting the degreaser, it's just gonna make it really dry. And this is kind of like your skin. You put lotion so it can be nice and smooth, and I'm gonna be doing the same thing with this car. I'm gonna be spraying this, I'm gonna be wiping it down, and even brushing it with a brush if I need to, on really hard to get places. But for now, I'm just gonna be spraying this, wiping it down with a rag, and you guys are gonna see the difference. It's gonna be a huge difference. Alright, so there you have it, boys. I put a very small thin layer of hyper dressing, and it's looking way better. I don't know if you guys remember, but all this was completely covered in oil, and it's completely clean now. There is no dirt, no nastiness. Everything is super clean. Forgot to put the strut bar back in it, so everything is in there. I took the clear wrap out of the harnesses. All of my stickers are still stuck. They're still tagged, so I'm not gonna lose track of each wire. All right, guys, now that I show you this engine bay, I'm gonna start the car, and then that should let us know whether we did everything right. Plugged in the battery, which I still need to clean the battery post. We notice that the idle is not bouncing up and down, which means all cylinders are firing. If in any case your engine starts sounding really rough, and it wasn't like that before, is you probably got a little bit of water in your spark plug sockets. If that were to happen, don't panic, turn the car off, remove the all 4 spark plug wires, or 6, 8, whatever you have, blow on it, make sure there's no water in it, put it back together, and that usually fixes the problem. Like I said, I clean a lot of engine bays here in my house, and I do them all this way that I just did it right now, and I've never ever had an issue. I have had some of them misfire, like I just told you, and all you do is just clean the spark plug area, or where the distributor cap and rotors are at, clean all that up, blow it with air, and that's it. Once you put it back together, it usually works perfectly fine after that. At the beginning of the video, I showed you what I thought I was going to be utilizing to do this video. And as you guys can see here, I used a little bit more than what I thought it was. I ended up using the 12mm socket and drill to take out the strut bar. I ended up using a K&N filter to clean the filter, but that's all stuff that you don't have to do to yours. I ended up using a ceramic detail just to wipe down the car at the very end. I used a few zip ties to wrap down the wires so they won't be flapping around when I'm cleaning it. And then obviously zip tie cutter or a flush cutter, and the flathead to remove the K&N intake. We use both brushes, and then we use everything you see here. I only use this just to clean the strut bars, just because I was too lazy to go get another spray. This is right next to me, that's the only reason why I use that. But anyways, that's pretty much what it takes to clean your engine bay, and it just looks way better. Now, do you have to do this in order for the car to run better? No, you don't have to. This thing is water cooled, it's not air cooled, so it really doesn't need to be cleaned up or anything in order for it to work properly. But it's something that if you're obviously watching us in Throtl, you're obviously a car guy or a car girl, and you want your stuff to look clean like we all do. So it was very simple. It took maybe an hour to do this whole thing together, and if you add another half hour, it's just to clean this up and clean the intake. But in an hour and a half, you can have this thing cleaned up, looking really nice. One thing that I am noticing, that this engine bay looks kind of like black, kind of simple. So I do want to paint this valve cover, so I'll probably be doing this in the next couple of days. Let me know in the comment below if you want to see, or if you want me to show you the process of cleaning your valve cover. I'm gonna be doing that next in this car, I think, among other things. But for now, that's gonna be it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really enjoy doing these videos from home. We're always just trying to stay safe and try to keep our distance from each other. So I'll see you in the next time. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next time, guys. See ya.